So what is academic freedom? It's one of those widely used terms but insufficiently defined and not necessarily always understood in the full meaning of its term. Today we have two main approaches to the understanding of academic freedom. One is the European model based in the early 19th century, coined by Wilhelm von Humboldt, who has brought a new idea of university, and it really focuses on freedom to teach and freedom to learn. On the other side, we have the American model from the early 20th century, brought forward by the American Association of University Professors and embedded in the philosophical thought of John Stuart Mill. And it rather focuses on the freedom of inquiry and freedom of expression. But of course, as we know, 21st century has brought a lot of changes within the higher education and research sector. And it has made education global, it has made it massive, and put it really at the center of social development. So for us in the Global Observatory on Academic Freedom, what is really important is to understand how do all these changes in higher education panorama influence the understanding of academic freedom and the need to further advance this concept of academic freedom. And when we look, for example, on the subjects of academic freedom, we want to understand how the massification of higher education has expanded the number of subjects of academic freedom. On one side, for example, we have students who are not always necessarily understood as subjects of academic freedom, but we do know, especially here at Central European University, having had the sad experience of our student Ahmed Samir Santavi being imprisoned in Egypt, his home country, for the topic of his research, how much this is an important element to have students free of intimidation, free of incarceration in relation to their research topics. At the same time, another very much vulnerable group are the early career researchers. Early career researchers today find themselves without institutional affiliation more and more often and for longer periods of time. And while this has an enormous impact on their physical and mental health, this has also an impact on their academic freedom. The fact that they cannot fully participate in higher education governance and the fact that they do not have financial and economic stability decreases their academic freedom. This is why at the observatory we find it extremely important to look into the economic aspects of academic freedom as such. From the point of view of global understanding of academic freedom, we wish to step away from Western-centric understandings of academic freedom and to really understand how the conceptualization of academic freedom in the last 2 years has truly became more prominent within international organizations and international coalitions and organizations, associations. All of the declarations, recommendations that currently exist in the international legal framework are not legally binding for member states. But the rise of interest in academic freedom is promising a move forward. For example, for the first time in history, United Nations have set their eyes onto the topic of academic freedom and in 2020 published a report that relates to academic freedom and freedom of expression. And why this legal protection is so important? Because today we really face threats, infringements, incarcerations, and even worse, of academics throughout the world. And these threats stem from state but also non-state actors in illiberal democracies, but unfortunately also in liberal democracies. We've had cases of United Kingdom and France where actually in the name of protection of academic freedom, it has often been endangered. And having had the experience of Central European University being forced to move out of Hungary, we could have seen the importance of the verdict that has been brought by European Court of Justice in the case of European Commission against the government of Hungary, which did not prevent the move to Austria, but it has truly paved a path towards legal protection of academic freedom within member states of the European Union. So the question who defines academic freedom, from whom and how, is really crucial for further development of education and research. And here at the Observatory, we believe that scholars should be at the forefront of these efforts. We need to understand that without academic freedom, there is no higher education, there is no research, and that means no democracy.